Ghana and Nigeria are two of the most prominent countries in West Africa, and the rivalry is often brought up when discussions about the region arise. Both have rich histories, vibrant cultures, and rapidly growing economies. In 2024, the competition between the two nations has intensified as both continue to play critical roles on the African continent. In this video, we will compare these two nations in various key aspects: economy, education, healthcare, political stability, culture, and much more. So let's dive in and explore the differences, strengths, and weaknesses of Ghana and Nigeria. But before we do so, you're welcome and welcome back to this channel. If you are new here, consider subscribing. Don't forget to turn on post notification because that will notify you whenever I drop new content on this channel. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and share. So let's talk about economy and infrastructure. When it comes to economic performance, Nigeria has long been Africa's largest economy, driven by its oil industry, which accounts for a significant portion of its GDP. The country's vast natural resources, including oil and gas, have placed it at the forefront of economic activity in Africa. However, Nigeria has also faced economic challenges, particularly in recent years. Corruption, political instability, and mismanagement of resources have hindered its development. Despite these issues, Nigeria's economy has shown resilience, especially with the diversification efforts into sectors like agriculture, fintech, and entertainment. Ghana, on the other hand, is often seen as a model for stability and economic growth in Africa. While it is not as large as Nigeria in terms of population or oil reserves, Ghana has made significant strides in its economic development over the past few decades. The country's economy has been largely driven by cocoa, gold, and recently, oil production. Ghana's relatively smaller size and stable political environment has attracted more foreign direct investment, that is FDI, compared to Nigeria. Furthermore, Ghana's infrastructure has been improving rapidly with a focus on modernizing its transportation networks and expanding access to electricity. Now let's talk about education. Education is an important factor when comparing the two countries. Nigeria is home to several world-renowned universities, including the University of Lagos and Ahmadu Bello University. Despite this, Nigeria's education system faces significant challenges. Inadequate funding, poor infrastructure, and teacher shortages are some of the major hurdles. In many parts of the country, particularly in the northern regions, access to quality education is limited, and there are serious concerns over educational inequality. Ghana, by contrast, has been praised for its relatively well-structured education system. The country offers free primary education and has made strides in improving literacy rates. Ghana also has a higher literacy rate than Nigeria, with the country's primary and secondary education systems being more accessible and effective. Additionally, Ghana's universities have gained international recognition for their academic standards and research contributions. However, both countries continue to face challenges such as overcrowded classrooms and insufficient resources for public schools. Now, talking about healthcare. Healthcare is another area where Ghana and Nigeria differ. Nigeria has a larger healthcare system, but it struggles with underfunding, inadequate facilities, and a lack of trained personnel. Healthcare in Nigeria is primarily concentrated in urban areas, leaving rural regions with limited access to medical services. The Nigerian government has made efforts to improve healthcare, but issues like corruption and insufficient investment in the sector have slowed progress. The outbreak of diseases such as Ebola and Lassa fever has also exposed the weaknesses in Nigeria's health infrastructure, and in comparison, Ghana has invested more heavily in its healthcare system over the years. Although challenges remain, Ghana has made significant progress in reducing child mortality rates and improving access to healthcare in rural areas. The government has expanded healthcare services with notable improvements in maternal health and the fight against infectious diseases like malaria. Ghana's National Health Insurance Scheme, that is NHIS, has been praised as an effective model for providing affordable healthcare to citizens. Now, let's talk about political stability. Political stability is often a major consideration when comparing nations. Nigeria, as Africa's largest democracy, has a relatively stable political system. However, its democracy has faced significant challenges, including corruption, electoral fraud, and security concerns. The political landscape in Nigeria has been marred by ethnic and religious divisions, with several regions experiencing political violence and insurgencies, such as the Boko Haram insurgency in the northeast. Despite these issues, Nigeria's political system has remained intact and its democratic processes continue to evolve. Ghana, in contrast, is often seen as one of the most politically stable countries in Africa. Ghana has enjoyed peaceful transitions of power since its return to democratic rule in 1992. The country's political environment is characterized by a relatively high level of transparency, freedom of the press, and the rule of law. Ghana has been a role model for democracy in Africa, with the peaceful resolution of political disputes and a history of fair elections. Now let's talk about security and crime. Security remains a major concern in both countries. In Nigeria, the rise of insurgent groups such as Boko Haram and the widespread issues of banditry, armed robbery, and communal violence in several regions have created security challenges. Despite the effort of the Nigerian government to address these threats, security remains a major concern, particularly in the northern and middle belt regions. The presence of terrorist groups and the fragility of the security apparatus makes some areas of Nigeria unsafe for both citizens and foreigners. Ghana, on the other hand, is known for its relatively low crime rate and high level of safety. While Ghana faces some security challenges, particularly in urban areas like Accra, the overall crime rate is lower compared to Nigeria. Ghana's security forces are generally considered more effective and better equipped to deal with crime and civil unrest. However, Ghana has not been immune to issues like cybercrime, human trafficking, and political tensions. Now, talking about cultural heritage, both Ghana and Nigeria boast rich cultural traditions that have shaped their national identities. Nigeria is known for its diverse ethnic groups, including the Yoruba, Hausa, Igbo, and many others. This diversity is reflected in the country's music, arts, literature, and festivals. Nigeria is home to a thriving film industry, Nollywood, which produces more films than any other country in the world, and is also known for its contributions to global music genres like Afrobeat. Nigeria's cultural influence is far-reaching, with Nigerian artists and entertainers gaining international recognition. Ghana, while smaller in size, also has a deep cultural heritage. The country is home to several ethnic groups, including the Akan and Ewe, each with its own traditions, languages, and festivals. Ghana's cultural output is centered around music, dance, and storytelling. The country has made its mark in global pop culture, with the Afrobeat genre gaining international popularity. Ghana is known for its rich history, including its role in the transatlantic slave trade, and its cultural artifacts are an important part of its national identity. Now, talking about tourism. Tourism in both countries has been growing steadily in recent years. Nigeria's tourism sector benefits from its vibrant cities, historical sites, and cultural attractions, including the Zuma Rock, the Ogbunike Caves, and the Aso Rock. Lagos, one of the most populous cities in the world, is also known for its beaches and nightlife. However, security concerns and infrastructure issues have made tourism in Nigeria less attractive to international travelers. In Ghana, tourism is also a major contributor to the economy thanks to its beautiful landscapes, historic sites, and cultural festivals. Destinations like Cape Coast Castle, the Kakum National Park, and the Ashanti Kingdom have attracted tourists from around the world. Ghana has invested in its tourism infrastructure, and its relatively stable political environment makes it an attractive option for travelers looking to explore West Africa. Now, let's talk about social development and living standards in both countries. When it comes to living standards, Ghana generally perform better in terms of quality of life. The country has made significant progress in areas like access to clean water, electricity, and basic sanitation. Ghana's government has worked to reduce poverty and improve the living conditions of its citizens, particularly in rural areas. However, the country still faces challenges related to unemployment and income inequality. Nigeria, with its large population and diverse economy, has made strides in improving living standards in some urban areas. Cities like Lagos, Abuja, and Port Harcourt offer a higher standard of living compared to rural areas where access to basic services is limited. Despite its oil wealth, Nigeria has one of the highest poverty rates in the world, with millions of Nigerians living below the poverty line. Now let's talk about global influence. On the international stage, Nigeria is a global powerhouse due to its size, resources, and influence in African geopolitics. Nigeria is a key player in organizations like the African Union, that is AU, and the Economic Community of West African States, that is ECOWAS. Nigeria's role in peacekeeping missions and its diplomatic influence in global affairs cannot be understated. Ghana, while smaller in terms of global influence, is also an important player in African politics. Ghana has earned respect for its democratic values and has served as a model for other African countries. The country's commitment to regional peace and stability, as well as its growing economic influence, has made it a valuable partner in global discussions on African development. So when comparing Ghana and Nigeria, both countries have their strengths and weaknesses. Nigeria stands out as a regional power with vast natural resources, a large population, and global influence. However, it faces significant challenges in terms of governance, security, and economic diversification. Ghana, on the other hand, offers a more stable and predictable environment with a strong focus on social development, political stability, and economic growth. In 2024, both nations have the potential to shape the future of West Africa, but they must address their respective challenges in order to fulfill their true potential. And as we've seen, both Ghana and Nigeria have their unique strengths and challenges. So whether you are a traveler, investor, or someone simply curious about West Africa, there is much to explore and learn from both countries. If you found this comparison insightful, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to this channel for more engaging content on African nations, cultures, and development. Also, want to hear from you. Which country do you think has the upper hand in 2024? Drop your thoughts in the comment below. We would love to hear your opinion and spark a discussion. And if you are planning to visit, invest, or even relocate to either country, share this video with your friends and family. Let's keep the conversation going. Stay tuned for more updates, and as always, thank you for watching.